We'll go here, actually. What is up, guys? My name is Faith Unlimited. Welcome to the stream. As you guys can tell from the title, we're talking about the movie again. And I think this will be probably the final, like, dedicated stream to it. I had an entire video where we went over everything about the movie because it was the original live stream where we went over it, watched it live. We got your reaction. We got everyone's reaction. It was fun. It was great. Everyone enjoyed it. We all had a good time. Unfortunately, Netflix doesn't want you guys to have a good time. They've had that video blocked for a while now, unfortunately. And so I there's nothing I can do about it. It's on the Patreon because I had to host it on Vimeo. There's nothing I can do to get it unblocked. I have tried forever to get it unblocked. So we're just gonna game. We're gonna chat about it. We'll probably give it quite a few hours here. We'll go ahead. We'll detail all the stuff about the movie, what I liked, what I didn't like, the things that I had problems with, and then we'll put it together in a video, and then we'll call it a night. Because god damn it, I have really cute fan art of it for the thumbnail. Actually, let me get it. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Let me pull up the FK screen so I don't show stuff I shouldn't show on on here. Where is it? Here we go. I think I've only posted this to like the Patreon, so there we go. There's the game. There's the thumbnail. And by golly, I need a video to use this thumbnail for because it's too perfect. I can't not use this thumbnail. Are you kidding me? Right? So we have to talk about the movie. Plus, it was one of the latest things to come out of MLP that I've actually watched. Because I didn't watch any of the shorts. I tried watching Pony Life. God knows, I gave it a fair shake. But I couldn't get into Pony Life. Pony Life was just not for me. I was not feeling good as hell watching Pony Life, and I know a lot of people weren't feeling good as hell. But yeah, how you doing, chat? How are you guys doing? I know a lot of people. We had the poll, and we had like 300 of you, vote that Izzy was perfection, and I love that. I'm so happy that most people found Izzy to be the perfect character from the show. She was certainly my favorite. I know that she was a favorite for a lot of you guys too. But yeah. Hi Devastator, hi Zwap, hi Twitch chat, hi Trovo, hi all of my lovely people on YouTube as well. Thank you. I love my little avatar thing too. Yeah, like I said, we're gonna go over the movie. I'm gonna try to avoid showing a ton of clips. We might pull up a couple of things for examples, but like I said, they even took down the Everything's Wrong With. I don't know if you guys noticed that. On the main channel, the Everything's Wrong With, it's not doing like crazy well or anything, but it was up for a while. Like 5 days, and then yesterday they decided, you know what, we're gonna take it down, Molly. We're gonna strike your channel and we're gonna take it down, or we're gonna block it worldwide. And I had to deal with that, but luckily it's back up. Yeah, he is best pony chat, 100%. But yeah, the new movie G5 is kind of interesting, and we have bots. Of course, we have bots.
Bro, this China guy is really good.
Of course, there's bots, right? While I'm trying to talk about G5. Oh, maybe we can even just put in watching. We'll put in watching, and I'll find a different thing. But yeah, G5. So obviously you guys know I did a lot of theory videos about G5, or I did a lot of videos going over like G5 and stuff. The original concept from the leaked emails that we saw with G5 were way more expansive than what we got. In a sense, what we got, the reason why some parts of it probably feel a little bit rushed and a little bit jumbled was the fact that it may have had to be changed just like last minute. When those leaks came out, it was years, like 2 years ago, but movies take a long time to develop. And so it takes a little while to switch up. If you're switching up your core of your show, remember it was supposed to take place on multiple worlds. Like each race wasn't just gonna have these small little villages of like 20 people. It was gonna have entire worlds on some Star Wars type stuff. Filled with those specific races where unicorns had their own world, Pegasites had their own world, and Earth ponies had their own world, and they would both kind of dabble in different things. I would imagine the Earth ponies were supposed to dabble in agriculture, and we kind of see that divide here in the actual movie where each of the races have very different societal structure, and the Earth ponies seem more akin to normal human society, as in they have normal levels of technology, be it movie theaters, and they just have normal roads, etc. And I think it's because they're supposed to be most like us, because Earth ponies never had like exterior magic, right? They had always interior magic. Like they were supposed to be. They kind of had to give them fluff, really. Let's be honest, because Earth ponies were just way lower than every other race. Earth ponies, like if you remember, in the one Sweet Apple, what was it? It was there was one video. All right, I can't remember what it was. Applejack was working herself to death trying to mine, trying to pick all the apples in the orchard, right? And in the end, she realizes that she couldn't do it without help. Twilight comes in the end and picks like half the orchard by herself. She just pulls everything out. Let's see. Twilight Sparkle picking apples. Let's see if I can find the clip. I would love if I could find that clip, because that has always been something that has been in my mind. But I wonder if you guys know what I'm talking about. But it's like Earth ponies, like just whatever they can do, whatever they're supposed to excel at, unicorns and Pegasi could just do better. And honestly, even unicorns could just do everything by themselves. They can self-levitate, they can give themselves wings. And so they had to give the Earth ponies something like this quote-unquote innate magic, which is probably why their society is the most mundane. The Pegasi literally live in the clouds. They have this technologically advanced city. Their society seems way more advanced. They have all these flat screen TVs. There's literally at some points like 6, 7 flat screen giant TVs for one side of the street. It's pretty insane. Have you crushed on your OC? Thanks, man. Magic, when it came to Earth Pony, seemingly has to come out to help of Magic Bakes, example, unicorns and alicorns. Why not give Earth ponies binning powers? Because then you probably get too close to just giving them magic. And if you're giving them magic, you might as well just make them unicorns, right? There has to be a clear separation of the three races. But yeah, so the societies are very different. The only problem is the unicorns get this massive downgrade, I guess because they lose their magic, and I don't know if the movie was kind of touching on this on purpose or if it just happened like that. Because the unicorns rely on magic so much, their society is pretty much like destroyed because they can't use magic to create anything. So it essentially, when you take away a unicorn's magic, they're a worse Earth pony because they haven't had to rely on the things that Earth ponies had to rely on, and they're just not built like Earth ponies. Earth ponies are supposed to be like tough and everything like that. Hutch seems to have a really good connection to Animos. Yeah, and that's one of the things. Fluttershy always had a good connection to Animos. A lot of the stuff that we see dealing with nature directly, we typically see the Earth ponies being the ones to handle that. Right? So that's always one thing. Let me see if I can pull up, because I don't want to show too much of the movie, because the YouTube gods aren't gonna like it if I do that, right? But I want to see if I can pull up just enough to illustrate my points, There we go. So I'll keep that in the background here so that we can scrub through this, and then I'll click to the scenes when they're pertinent and stuff. But yeah, so the worlds are still fairly separate, but like the whole thing is they're not actually that far apart. I don't know if you guys caught that in the movie, but like these societies are literally like a day's journey away. It's not like these are on different planets or different worlds. So the fact that they almost know nothing about each other in this movie, it's still kind of baffling to me. I don't know about you guys, if you guys were fine with that, but it's like, remember, Sunny, like they're preparing for war with these things. Like part of the whole intro. Let's see. Part of the intro, remember, was all of them building up to the fact that they were preparing all these different things to protect themselves from Unicorn and Pegasi. But the Unicorn and Pegasi have never attacked them because they don't know that they don't have magic. It seems weird that their economy is so largely based on this, and they're so close together, yet they know almost nothing about each other. It just seems like a major plot point that I can't really get over, I feel. And I don't know, it kind of breaks down the world a little bit, because it's supposed to be that they're supposed to be in turmoil, they're supposed to hate each other, but you're telling me in all these years of being like super close to one another, of preparing to fight one another, it's never came to blows, and they've never once realized that, like, hey, actually it turns out, there's no logical reason for us to hate each other. Because don't get me wrong, some of the fear in this movie that's brushed aside, like unicorns and deadly lasers and Pegasi being able to take over and hurt Earth ponies, it's completely valid. I kind of hate that the movie treats it as if it's not. Molly, maybe some kind of threat happened and caused them to be uh unable to meet, but no, because they can just cross. We saw they just cross as normal. Like there's no giant monsters, there's no obstacle like keeping these cities apart. It's just literally their own fear, I guess, keeping them apart. But like I said, the unicorns definitely could destroy pretty much every other race. They are legitimately dangerous in a sense. Like, I mean, think about it. How many of the villains in G4 were unicorns? Like, let's be honest, almost every single villain except for Cozy Glow was a unicorn or a magic user. It's not exactly outlandish to be a little bit afraid of them. Right? So the Earth Ponies aren't exactly wrong to be preparing for it. And remember, in the original story of the founding of Equestria, like the Pegasi do control the weather, which I don't think they do now. But they did control the weather, and they could freeze the Earth Ponies' crops, etc. They could freeze them. It's like the Earth Ponies get picked on, man. I'm sorry, if you're an Earth Pony fan, you are literally choosing the Z list. Like, they are bullied by every other group of pony, like, imaginable. It is kind of dumb that they kind of treat like Sunny treats everyone's fears as if they're completely baseless. Which, like, yes, they think they still have magic, but even if they didn't have, like, if you're working on the assumption, because Sunny thinks that they have magic too, if you're working on that assumption, then you should realize that, yeah, they're still dangerous. It doesn't mean you have to treat them bad, but it's still a valid concern to prepare for. Uh, I love the Pegasi. The Pegasi are pretty cool. Their world is way more advanced, obviously. But some of the things that really irk me are like the wing designs of the Pegasi. Because like you look at some of the wing designs and some of them, most of them seem normal. Like you see all of this is all pretty normal, right? But then you get to like the queen and stuff and her entourage. If I can, you know, I'm just gonna I'm gonna play it normally. Like it's mainly Pip's wings. They're like fluffy. And that just like irks me. And the whole concept that like, oh, it's just strings and wires that are making them fly. Where are the strings and wires in this shot? The amount of strength it would take to pull them like that is just like absurd. This whole concept is a little bit absurd that they're the only ones that are supposed to be able to fly for who knows what reason they gave. But that like it was all a sham, that they were using wires. I felt like you could have gone probably something better with that plot point. You could have still had them not able to fly and made it like some sort of grand conspiracy, right? But I feel like the whole making it wires, making it controlled by some guy in a back room, like it's literally two strings. One of the things that I probably would have done is, honestly, maybe I would have given them magic. Maybe it was like their close proximity to the gym, because remember, she has to figure out that like the gyms actually do contain the magic, and that putting them all together would somehow give all the races their magic. There has to be some reason why she thinks that, other than seeing it in like, what was it? She saw it in like the basement. And because she saw it in the basement, she just put 3 and 3 together and was like, oh yeah, if we just put it together, magic should just come back. That it just felt like it was like a giant leap in logic. Like, if we just put these gems together, everything will be a-okay. It reminds me of the conundrum DV Earth runs into with Superman. DC Earth, I think, maybe you mean? Yeah, Superman's usually a good guy, but what if one day he just flips and switches for one reason or another? Uh, Kinda. I think they rushed the movie. Maybe. Like, I don't want to just say, like, oh, the movie's rushed. Oh, you know. Like, but there does seem to be some major plot points. If you showed somehow that the gym still had magic, that would make sense, because you still get it that because that would even, okay, so here's a good point that I just kind of thought of. You know how everyone becomes like a fugitive and stuff? If they actually did have the gyms and the gyms did cause them to have magic, that's an actual reason to go through and say that now the princesses are fugitives, because they were hoarding magic. It could have been possible. Maybe the crowd just assumes that they could have spread the magic around and that they chose not to. That's a real reason to actually get upset at the princesses, right? Like, you actually have a real reason now to be upset, to get mad, and to like question them. Of course you're going to want to arrest them then, because they could actually fly. And they weren't they weren't sharing the magic. Also, no, David, I did not draw my OC. This one is actually done by my rig here. My lovely, beautiful rig is done by Techie Cutie on Twitter, and a lot of our artwork is done by Lime Dazzle on DeviantArt. But don't go steal her from me. I gave her a lot of work. She only has time for me. Ignore the pony behind the curtain. Yeah, exactly. Of course, you'd have to probably figure out something with the unicorns. The whole unicorn arc really was one of the worst done ones, and probably because it was the last one. It was the last one that she had to go on for the journey in order to do this. And it felt the most rushed because they get to the unicorn land, they find out where the gym is, and the whole thing is about teaching people not to believe stereotypes. But the problem is almost all the characters they interact with are stereotypes. They're bad, negative stereotypes. They are seen as they're supposed to be seen as cheaters. When the queen gets there, she accuses the unicorn of cheating to get the gem back from them. And the issue is, they're right. They win fair and square in the DDR game, which already was pretty bad. Like, she's just like, he makes some arbitrary thing of, if you even win once, you win. And it's something that he didn't need to do at all. It makes no sense for him to do it. Why would he do it? He was going to win if he had just stuck to 2 out of 3. But for some reason, his character decides magically that, nah, you know what? Actually, I need to make sure that they win. And when they do win, for some reason, he decides that because they're exposed as being not a unicorn, because she can dance around. Where is that scene, actually? Because that scene really pisses me off. She's dancing around on DDR the entire time. No issues, right? With her fake horn. Then she, like, lightly lifts her head up for a celebration. And she's exposed to be a non-unicorn. Like, it was so dumb how that happened. Yeah, see, it just
an earth pony.
It just like really, it just happens to fall off right then and there. And for some reason, not only did he, like, I can understand him saying, like, hey, you lied to me. Maybe he thinks earth ponies are naturally good dancers or something, right? Okay, cool, whatever. It doesn't make sense, but we can go with that. Why does he then demand to take the Pegasi crystal as well? Again, just solidifying that Pegasi are greedy or cheaters, etc. This whole thing is literally, this whole journey should just solidify to Sunny that, you know what? Actually, everyone was right about all the other races. They are horrible. They are rude. They are awful. Because every single person, with the exception of the core group who she's with, who doesn't even really do that much for her, really does act like the stereotype. The Pegasi imprison her. The unicorns trying to cheat her and steal her stuff. Like, it's all really fucking bad. And when they do escape with the crystal, which made the whole D&D thing, like, or DDR thing pointless, because they just end up stealing it anyways. Like, yeah, we're awful, but let's be friends anyways. Yeah, we'll get to Sprout, because Sprout is a thing all on his own. But I want to go over just, like, the base overview of this movie, because I thought this was some real shenanigans, honestly. The fucking queen appears out of nowhere. Doesn't make any sense, but I go over that and everything's wrong. Okay, fine. She's there. She's there with them, right? They all, and she's there to be arrested because the guards come too, like, literally, like, what is it, like, a couple of seconds afterwards? Oh, that's not what I meant to press. There we go. The guards come, like, a couple of seconds afterwards to arrest her.
Let us explain.
There she is! Your criminal highness!
Right? And for some reason, when they try to put the crystal back together and they fail, for some reason they thought, okay, we only need 2 of the 3 races crystals in order to return magic to everyone. When that fails, everyone just immediately gives up for some reason. They no longer want to arrest the queen. Like, the guards just go away. The unicorn chieftain, for some reason, no longer wants his crystal back, despite never thinking it was magic to begin with. Like, and Sunny decides, you know what? It wasn't that every other race was being exceptionally exactly like how the stereotype said they were. It's that I couldn't bring back magic. So I couldn't bring back magic. Guess I'll just be a racist then. You know, like, it was so dumb. It was such a, they need that in the 3rd act for the protagonist to lose their faith. They need that loss of faith so that they can make a triumphant return. But this was one of the most ham-fisted, like, falling off of the cliff kind of ways that they could have done it. It was so dumb that this was the way that they chose for her to lose her faith in restoring the races. Wait, quick question: is he related to Rarity? Well, we don't know if any of them are related. I don't think any of them are actually related or anything like that. Maybe they are. I don't know. I called the alicorn thing when we were watching live. That was weird. But yeah, she just loses her faith. And even then, when they finally get to the finale of returning magic, like, it still doesn't work. It takes them all helping her to put the pieces of her shattered picture back together in order for that to come back. So, you know, it takes all of them doing a small gesture of the most minimum amount of effort possible of this like pointless gesture. Like, yeah, we were literally just having a race war a few seconds ago, but you know what? We were really touched by you attempting to give us magic again. Last time, you know, it was a fluke. When you risk everything to try to give us magic, then didn't count. This time it totally counts. And this brief moment over thousands of years, I assume, of like hating each other, of barricading their cities against one another, this brief moment was enough to like return the magic. I hated that so much because it felt like, it felt a little forced. Well, more than a little forced. It felt super forced. And of course, we can't ignore Alicorn Sunny as well, and that implication. Friendship conquers all, yeah. But I don't want to make it all doom and gloom, because it's really easy to hate things and to get into that mindset of hating things, right? There were some things that this movie did really well. It was just buried deep down inside. Some of the character acting, which we didn't get to see for all of them, like Pip, didn't really get to flex her personality as much. A lot of people just see her as Instagram girl. She's a Zoomer, therefore she's bad, forgetting that this current generation is who this is targeted for. That's a really cute face on Izzy. I'm so glad I paused it there. Pip is probably one of the most hated, and it's just because it reminds a lot of people that the show's not made for them. A lot of people who were watching this movie who were upset are older. They're like mid-20s or something like that, and they really hate when things are catered to the younger generation. The thing is that being a YouTuber, being an Instagram celebrity, being an Instagram model, all these things aren't exactly these crazy ideas anymore. And that a lot of kids aspire to be these things. So having a character that builds on those tropes isn't bad. It's actually quite reasonable. If you're trying to relate to kids today, like I think YouTuber is honest. I think YouTuber was one of the highest rated jobs the kids wanted. Like it's not astronaut, fireman, policeman. It's YouTuber, Instagram celebrity, professional gamer, etc. And having someone like that is pretty in line with their target demographic. Uh, Zip is a pretty good Rainbow Dash archetype. I don't like to compare these ones to G4 a lot, but you gotta admit, I'm blocking Zip, but like, you guys know what Zip looks like. All right, there we go. There she is. Zip is really close to Rainbow Dash. I love her personality. I love her confidence, her just kind of voice dynamic. How she has that high kind of more girly tone and then this deeper tone that she goes into when she's monologuing to herself or when she's speaking to herself. I love the fact that they also didn't make her just like a dumb jock as well. Because Rainbow Dash wasn't exactly dumb. A lot of people fall into that trope of thinking Rainbow Dash was dumb. Rainbow Dash wasn't dumb. She was a different type of learner, as we saw on the show, and she was just interested in very specific things. So if it didn't pertain to the things that she's interested in, she didn't really care. But if we look in the background, and I pointed this out in the Everything's Wrong with, Zip isn't a dum-dum. She has a deep personality where she's like super into math and flight, and like this is not simple. This isn't simple stuff that she's into. She's a really detailed and fascinating character. And I think that it really, like, it's subtle. Like the things that show that off are super subtle, but like this is not simple equations. I also appreciate that like some of these equations are actually just real and they all pertain to flight. Like what is this? This is like the flight descent equation here. It is made to be a little bit tongue in cheek because it's pony. It's supposed to be uh VONY, I believe. Uh Yeah, it's supposed to be VONY. So there's no P in the actual equation. I'm not sure what P would even refer to in this, but it is all real. Like she's not a dummy. And it's the movie is only like an hour or so long, right? So there's not a lot of time to extrapolate on these minute character things, but like it's just the subtle things in the background, which if you want to read into the movie, you can get a lot about these characters. The queen is like maybe probably seen as being bad or evil, but she's not bad or evil. She is right that like people were happy just knowing that they could fly. That was enough to, yeah, P for Pegasus. People were happy just knowing that their leaders could fly because that gives them hope. It gives them hope that maybe one day they'll be able to fly and they can live vicariously through their rulers. It's not always when rulers do things that are necessarily good, it's not because they're bad, it's because they're thinking of the greater good. Sometimes it's okay for leaders to lie in order to avoid causing more damage, more panic. We see what the unicorns are like when they realize that magic is gone and it's not coming back. Their entire society is doom and gloom. Everything is depressive. Everything is sad. But just giving the Pegasus that little bit of spark, that little bit of hope that, hey, maybe things will come back, has transformed their entire society into a utopia where this is their prison. Like with fresh fruit, golden, like, accoutrements, massage chairs. Like this is their prisons. And I think that speaks volumes to them as like a group. And obviously, while we're here, Izzy is just adorable. Her character is written very consistently for one of the hyperbolic characters. So it's really easy to consider her to be a Pinkie Pie clone, but I think she's more consistently done in this movie than Pinkie Pie was done over the course of her seasons, which, yes, it's not fair to compare seasons to a single instance, but I think Izzy's entire personality was a little bit more than just being a Pinkie Pie clone. She says some things that really make it seem that she's more aware of her situations. One of the main criticisms that I have for Pinkie Pie is her lack of self-awareness of how her actions affect other people. And while it's really easy to say, well, remember the intro, she was super scatterbrained and she wasn't like avoiding the traps. Well, yeah, but the traps were only putting her at risk. It wasn't putting Sunny at risk. Some of the things that Pinkie Pie did put her friends at risk or caused her friends a little bit of pain or mental anguish. Izzy is a lot more self-contained. There's some language that she uses that suggests that she's thinking on a higher kind of field than Pinkie Pie ever really displayed, talking about the power dynamics of the group because of Hitch's status as being a jailer. Things like that. These subtle jokes that kind of show these characters and how they're developing and what we can expect from them. And if they continue this, I think it's going to be really great for the series. I think it's just because they are probably just ponies with wings, so they don't have hollow weight. Well, yeah, obviously the magic is why they fly, right? Because without the magic, like they would need wingspans like 3 times their body size. But yeah. And Sunny is also pretty interesting. I don't like that she has the dead parents issue that a lot of protagonists get. They all have that dead parents thing where our parents are dead, and that's our motivation, because her mother was never in the picture. Her father mysteriously dies for no real reason, and it just seems like I don't feel that her father dying really served any sort of urgency. I don't think it, like, when you have a character's parents die, it should be because it is necessary to the story, not simply to try to add cheap depth of giving this character a sad backstory. And I think that's where they kind of fumbled with Sunny a bit. It was used as a prop rather than an actual storytelling mechanic. It wasn't that she needed dead parents. It was that they wanted to give her a tragic story, and they thought that's all they really needed for the motivation. But she was already on the path of wanting to do this stuff. She already wanted to prove that Earth Pony and Pegasus could live happily together and that they could all be nice. There was really no reason to kill off the father. In fact, something that would have been more impactful would have had the father lose his faith. To maybe you could have had it that the father couldn't afford to keep paying the bills of the house because no one wants to associate with him because he's the crazy kook that's always going on about unity. And that eventually you have something like the Chicken Little movie, from Disney or Pixar or whoever, right? Where the father wants to believe their son totally and is super invested, but when he's proven wrong, his main goal is now to protect his child. And so the father in this case would like, listen, Sonny, unity is great and all, but don't you want to have a life? Don't you want to be able to live? You have no friends. No one wants to hang out with you. Don't you want to be normal and accepted? and some sort of fight like that, and maybe having the father like yell at her is something that literally drives her off to go, I don't know, search out the unicorns. And maybe that would make even more sense because Izzy has apparently had that letter for forever and only just now stumbles upon the town randomly. It just seems a little bit weird. Yeah, obviously the the dead parent trope, and Dread, I saw you, or Devastator, I think I saw you also comment it. Like Applejack's parents weren't ever really utilized except for like a few core scenes, and like the dead parents thing, it's such an overdone thing for protagonists at this point. It's just it's tiring, right? It's like so tiring to see it done for like no real reason. All right, I've been talking for like 40 minutes straight here, so I'm gonna go ahead and take some sip of water. But buckle up, buckaroos, because we still have a lot more to cover. All right, I still have like an hour and 20 minutes of talking to do here. I know someone had mentioned Sprout. I don't get Sprout's transformation. Like, call me crazy. Maybe I'm alone in this. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me that Sprout turned as evil as he did. His mother kind of, like, his mother is super wishy-washy. She's like telling him like, oh, you can be sheriff now. Like she's trying to push him into a position of power and trying to get him to take the reins and stuff. And that's all fun and good. But it's like, what was his motivation? Yep, wrong screen. To become truly evil, to want to start a war with the unicorns. His mother has always taught him a defensive measures. All their gear is defensive. And for some reason, he then decides he wants to go to war with the unicorns. And it wasn't really seemingly to gain his mother's approval, because he starts disobeying her and shutting her out. So he's like propped up as his mother's boy. He just wants his mother's affection, his mother's approval, and to make mommy happy. But then when he actually gets the power, he forgets all about mommy dearest. And so it's like, who is he really doing this for? Why is he doing this? The mob super goes with him, but I'm kind of okay with the mob in a sense going with him if it was to like barricade their cities and completely cut off everything. But they all think that these unicorns can like melt their minds, and the Pegasi can just lift them up and cause the weather to like be super cold. This would not be a war that you would want to fight head on. And so I don't think the citizens would go along with that, because like, what is it? He has like a crowd of like 10 with him. And I understand that could be because of animation constraints and time constraints. Like, I don't know. Like, I felt like that entire motif here was all a little bit weird and rushed, and it didn't really make sense why he would be the way that he was. I didn't like how they handled Sprout and turned him into... I saw these come up a lot of the times, that they turned Sprout into Hitler, that they turned Sprout into Stalin. Listen, there's a lot of motifs that are being used in this movie. There's a lot of parodies. You can hear it in the music. You can see it in the design. This isn't necessarily Hitler-esque or Stalin-esque. It's just kind of generic dictator, I would say. I think it was just done for a laugh. I don't think the writers or the animators were trying to send any kind of like hidden political message through this. I think this was just like what it is. It's just an easy way of conveying that he's not exactly a good guy right now. To be honest, it reminded me of Scar from The Lion King a bit, but Scar had motivation to want to be leader. Sprout never had that motivation. He never wanted to be leader. He was just jealous of Hitch. It seemed like, again, he only became deputy because his mom wanted him to be sheriff, and he didn't lack the ability to be so. And again, like him going to this extreme doesn't make sense because it's against what his mother wants. So it gets super muddied. Like he's supposed to be a character pining for affection, pining for approval, but then he stops wanting the approval of the person that he was seeking the approval from. He just had mommy issues. Maybe, but like the movie kind of shows him getting over those. One thing I'm wondering is if these are the only three places that ponies exist, surely they aren't because these towns, cities don't seem to be large, especially Maritime Bay. Yeah, that's another thing, but MLP has always had that issue. So some of it we have to just give up to the fact that it's a movie, it's a show, etc. Like if we look at the map though, there's like some scenes where they show the map of Equestria. Oh shit. Not me to do that. Where is it? There's some points where they show a map of the of Equestria here. And it shows that there's other regions, but I guess they're just like desolate or something. I think it might show it in the background here. No. I have to be careful with how much I show, guys, because of the content ID system, right? But it's just something that we kind of have to take. Like, there's probably other cities, or maybe the cities are larger than we think. Because if you look at the Pegasus city, at least, the Pegasus city is massive. Like the Pegasus city is like super big. Damn it, I skipped too far. No, actually I didn't skip far enough. But yeah, see this is actually pretty big. And I think this could qualify as like a city state. And city states are fairly large and whatnot. And we could assume that maybe there was some sort of calamity because we have to remember this is in the G4 world. So we're not divorced from the original G4 world. Let's see if I can pull up a map of Equestria. There we go. So like this is the world. It was never like gigantic, right? Because half of these also belong to other races exclusively. And I think this is still in line with how the show portrays itself. But there could have been some sort of calamity or event that kind of cold the population. We're talking about an event that stopped them from having magic entirely and then forgetting their history. We're talking about times after Celestia and Luna and times after Twilight Sparkle. Like I doubt that the writers are trying to say that Twilight Sparkle failed, because if we look at it, it looks like they were well still together way after the passing of Twilight Sparkle. Us thinking that the princesses are immortal is totally just what we perceive, because Faust herself had said, like, it's not that she's immortal, she just won't outlive her friends, was her original saying. So let me see here. Here, let me put you back on my lovely face here. There we go. This is actually exactly the scene that I wanted to show. Because I don't think Bridalwood... Was Bridalwood an original city? Because this would totally prove my point right here. Is that I think even up until like fairly recently, of all these new cities being established, the Unicorn, Pegasi, Earth Pony, they were all friends. And so it's not that Twilight Sparkle or the princesses failed. It's just that something else happened after their passing. It's totally possible that just like everything could go wrong without anyone necessarily doing anything like bad. The leadership just becomes less and less effective at unifying everyone. Maybe it's that they spread out too much and they start to lose that connection with one another. Maybe some sort of self-segregation from their own biases. If we remember in G4, it didn't take much for all the ponies to turn against the other races. Like, remember the ending of G4 with the with them like whispering to them? G4, what was it? MLP season 9 finale. Unfortunately, we stopped clipping, so I can't get it from my oh yeah, here's the...
Hey there, my unicorn friend. Have you heard?
Yeah, like here. I think it'll be okay to show this because this is G4. It literally took just like one half truth. It didn't even need to be verified. Like, he doesn't need to verify it with anyone. He just assumes that what he was told was right, and now he hates all Earth ponies. It was, or at least he's now negative towards them, right? And this culminates later on into like full-on race riots. We see that even when the princesses are at their full strength, these societies are all like threads away from falling apart. So it's not that I don't think the whole message here is that Princess Twilight failed somehow, or that Celestia and Luna failed somehow. This is something that could have happened at any point, and without them being here actively protecting it, it was bound to happen. I think it was just honestly more of they were functioning as a security blanket. The societies were relying on heroes to do it, but societies can't run off of generosity, charity, and heroes. Because if we run off of, it's the same reason why we have social benefit programs from the government rather than just relying on like some sort of charity program. Because if we're relying on charity, if we're relying on heroes, it means that we're never going to be able to independently solve these problems. We're always going to be chained down and relying on these things. So if we're relying on the main six to solve all the problems, when they die, when they pass on, because as we saw, the main six have normal lifespans, it seems, with the exception of Twilight, who might be like slightly longer living, but they visibly are aging and like they look older. Like, they look older here, and you can just see how they... yeah, flashback. Yeah, there we go. Like, they'll have bags, they have gray hair in some scenes, like... where is it? I swore they had gray hair. Oh, it's just Rarity, I guess, who... for some reason have gray hair. But like they're visibly aging. and they're aging what it seems like at a normal rate. So you're talking fairly soon. It's just Twilight, and you saw how easy it was to do when they were at full strength all together. I'm just saying, I don't think that was the whole point of these scenes, were to say that like Twilight and them failed, because I keep on seeing that brought up like over and over, like how bad did Twilight mess up? How bad did she fuck up? Like this and that, and just I don't think that's what the writers were getting at here. Was it poorly conveyed? Absolutely. But yeah. David, I don't know what you want, man. I can't. You keep asking me to draw your OC or have one of the people on my team draw your OC. There's plenty of artists out there that you can go commission, and they'll totally do that. Is your room floating? No, my room is just normal. Here, look, you guys want to see the back of my room? Hang on. Wait. There we go. Oh wait, that's the old. Hang on, that's the old one. It's technically the front. Paste reference. Oh wait, is it? I don't think this is the. Oh, maybe this is the completed one. I can't remember. I actually don't use this one a lot. But yeah. Yeah. I don't know. What are you guys? What are your guys' thoughts on everything as well? I've been reading chat, but I haven't been super responding to every single comment. Yeah, I totally agree, James. Like I said, it was totally bound to happen, and I don't think placing the blame on anyone is really fair. I do think though, like this movie would have been maybe slightly better if it wasn't directly connected to G4, because like it's gotta be like we gotta be talking like tens of thousands of years after the events of G4, right? Like there's no other reasonable explanation, because we're talking about massive changes to the ponies, like to the point where they only have one cutie mark on one side, but they have the original main six, how they are with two cutie marks. Unicorns have these weird spiral horns. The Pegasi have completely different wings. Like that was not a thing back then. And you're talking about massive changes to the species. These aren't like small things. Can I show you my whole OC? I will. Also, you can look at the community tab. We have artwork of her on the community tab. Where we also posted it in the Discord, and obviously we posted it on the Patreon too, which is patreon.com/Meluminous, where you see all the art and stuff early and all that stuff. I wonder if the MLP season 10 IDW comics might have to do with what happened in G5. I don't believe the comics are canon. The G5 Etchy main is magic. Oh, Etchy, hey, you want to get in? Hang on. Do you have any cognitive thoughts on G5? Because you are a weird guy, but I will bring you in if you have anything like that, or if you have like an opposing view or something. Yeah, I don't think the comics are. I think there were what they said was the comics are canon until they're not. Meaning that if the show ever shows anything that contradicts the comics, the show's canon supersedes the comics. And speaking of the comics and stuff, a lot of things like that happen later on in the series just don't seem to be prevalent. But it seems like they have artifacts that are from that time period at the same time. Like, where are all the griffins, dragons, etc.? Because like the ending of season 9 was all about, it was all about all right. Well, if you have something to say, let me know and I'll drag you in. Uh the um the season 9 stuff was all about, it was all about unifying the different races or species. So like the griffins, dragons, changelings, etc. But all these groups seem to be like completely gone, but they all had complex like city structures and like they had entire societies, and it just seems like those are all gone now, and that's exceptionally sad. I don't like that. I feel like we took a lot of steps backwards as far as world building goes, and that disappoints me quite a bit. Let me see if I can get to the scene that kind of shows, because I feel like a lot of people, some people noticed this, some people didn't. Here we go. Well, give me a zoom in. Uh, kind of. But like, if you see, like, these are all things like the original book and um Twilight Sparkle's kitty marks, and they even have like some actual just like straight up artifacts of even Equestria Girl. Like the memory erasing stone was a nice touch. Could that have been used as a reason why they somehow forgot about everything? All right, thank you, Nick. You take care. But yeah, there's just, I think, yeah, see, there it is. There's the memory erasing stone that what's her face used? Wallflower. Wallflower.
How? I used to be just like as I have. You're just trying. They'll think of each memories of each other. They'll think of each.
Yeah, see, like she has the stone. And that's a stone that removes your memories. And they have different things about that here. So maybe that's something that could have been used. Maybe it plans a point. We never go into like any of her conspiracy theories, which it seems that she has here, of like things that are connected, like stuff that seems to be connected. If we look at this map, it seems like the world is slightly different, even. Like it doesn't really line up with full Equestria maps, but we also see other maps that do. I don't know. It almost seems like this would have been better off just being its own universe. Was it fully destroyed? Or did it just lose its magic? Because that's always the thing that. No, yeah, I guess it is destroyed in the end here. Because all their memories come back. But I guess maybe it could be put back together? Maybe. What happened to Twilight Sparkle? I'm gonna say that Twilight Sparkle most likely died of old age. I think the princesses weren't like literally immortal and that they just had exceedingly long lives. Because we're talking about tens of thousands of years possibly into the future here. Because this has drastically changed like pony looks. Oh, oh shoot, I lost my my live streaming page here. There we go. But yeah, I think she just died of old age. I think that's what happened. What happened to Discord? Now, see, that is that is a question, because Discord is a spirit. And he's a spirit of chaos. But he was kind of reformed. So who knows? Who knows if even spirits can last this long? We're talking about something that could have been tens of thousands of years, remember? And they speak in 1,000-year increments, but when you're talking about 10 times that, I think it's just old age gets to all of them, and that eventually they just all kind of disappear. But yeah, you know, I like the new designs of the characters. I think they look cute. I think Izzy's adorable. I think there's a lot of stuff that's, you know, happened here that I found fun and pretty amusing. They probably know the memory erasing stone from one of the books that Twilight reads. Yeah, which probably means that they have access to her journal where she was writing between Sunset Shimmer and them. Molly, Discord seems to exist so long as he's chaotic, which was shown in Gen 4. Was there like a scene with Discord like fading because he wasn't causing chaos or something? Alucard Sunny, good or bad? Also, couldn't just Discord just make himself immortal since he has basically the strongest magic out of everyone? I don't think he did. If we saw that like Starlight was honestly, I'm just gonna queue up some TFT because we've been going for an hour, and so I'm just gonna start answering more of your questions, more of your theories and stuff. So just doing something in the background here. I think that Starlight demonstrated that she was actually pretty powerful. She was able to banish him on the spot. Starlight banishes Discord. Like Starlight, like people think Twilight was the most powerful, but it honestly seems that Starlight was way above her in power. She went toe to toe with her in Alicorn form and just honestly kept on beating her hand over hoof. Um, like it seems like Discord isn't immortal. The elements of harmony can take him out. It just I don't know. I would not bank on Discord being able to just give himself immortality. Between Discord and Fluttershy. Oh yeah, like where he wasn't chaotic enough, so he disappeared. He could even like remember he's like in love with Fluttershy. He could just choose. Thank you for the sub. He could just choose. He could just choose to give himself, if he was immortal, probably to just fade off into the distance and stuff. Because you know, if you love someone, if you've had a good life, there's a lot of people who are just ready to die. They've done everything that they wanted to do. Oh man, this game is still getting DDoSed. Oh my, I literally can't. The game is still getting DDoS. Hooray. Hip hip hooray. Pip pip hooray. Am I disconnected? I don't think so. I still like Starlight could be the type of one to discover an immortality spell. Maybe in her old form. Remember, she was like what she was never a nerd. So the thing that separated Twilight and Starlight were their studious nature. Twilight studied magic because she loved magic. Starlight studied magic as a tool. Starlight used all of this magic because she had all this hate inside of her and she wanted to use it as a tool. So like once she kind of lost that hatred, we don't really see her ever studying like Twilight again. So I feel like her days of being a researcher are over. So I don't think she would ever come up with immortality. There also has to be a reason for her to do so. And I don't think she would ever, I think she would probably just agree that things come to an end and that searching for immortality is pointless. And that's honestly what I think. That's honestly what I think would be the case. Where's my there we go. Gotta get rid of the popcorn. We're out of popcorn. Popcorn machine broke. How lake the movie? I don't know what that means. That's a good point, Connor. I wonder if the Crystal Empire still exists, and if they do, maybe they are separate too, unless the winter destroyed the Empire when the magic was lost. That's a good point. But remember, the weird winter that was caused because of the magic in that area. So technically, when it didn't have the magic, it became summer, right? Or no, it was the Crystal Heart that kept away the winter. So maybe they did freeze over again, because when they lost the Crystal Heart, they froze over. But yeah, Crystal Ponies were an entire other subset of pony, as we saw, and it was treated as such. So I wonder, maybe that's a good point. I wonder if a lot of these are all good points, and it's something that may be touched upon in the series. So a lot of this is just kind of theory crafting. It's just me thinking about what could possibly be the thing, but that's a good point. The Crystal Empire is another subset of pony. Are we free? We're also kind of forgetting about what are they? The hippogriffs? Yeah, King Sombra. Okay, so King Sombra in the show and the movies are different, or the shows in the comic are a bit different. Because remember, in the comic, I remember specifically King Sombra, he kind of gets reformed. And unfortunately, he's only reformed for like, what is it, like a day? And then he has to self-sacrifice himself in order to save the town. And it was kind of a little bit sad, but like that's how it was played. In G4, he just kind of dies. Like he's banished yet again. How did the Pegasus come up with putting tennis balls on unicorn's horns? Would that actually work once the magic was restored? No, I don't. I think that was just a goof. I think it was just to actually highlight how disconnected they all were from each other. Like they don't really understand each other. Throughout the years, they've lost touch because they still thought that they had magic. Like they thought Pegasus could fly. They thought unicorns had magic still. So I think it was just a goof. We can't forget about bat ponies. Were bat ponies ever solidified as a race? I don't know if they were ever real. Were they ever? Were bat ponies ever real? Love the top. Do you mean my hat? Thank you. I don't think pat ponies ever got solidified. It makes me morbidly curious about the other species like the Kirins. That's also true. Hippogriffs, yaks, bisons, griffins, zebras, etc. Where are they now in G5 if it would get touched upon? And that is one of the things. Obviously, the movie can't touch upon all of these things, and it's not a fault of the movie. I don't think it's a fault of the movie to be like it's got an hour and 30 minutes. We can't touch on every possible scenario that happened throughout the multitude of probably thousands and thousands of years that happened. But the series definitely can, and I think the series would definitely do a disservice to just like have all these interesting characters and then just get rid of them. Balloon Lords 22449 says he likes bad girls. I can't relate. My wifeys are all bad girls. Like I have a very clear taste and I'm not ashamed at all. Like I like Sunset Shimmer, another reformed villain. Starlight Glimmer, I absolutely love. Trixie, Tempest Shadow, Adagio, like the pattern is very clear. I like bad girls. I've always have, whether it be those that I idolize in cartoons or just my personal dating pool. That's just, for better or worse, that's just how it be. Oh, you love the top meeting shirt. You love my top. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I guess now you guys can see my top. I feel exposed. You guys can see so much fur. I don't think, maybe, but it seems like even in the movie, we weren't being told what happened to Sunny's mom. I don't think in the show we might get something that happens to her dad and maybe a passing mention, but because like it's not, the G5 is supposed to be for older audiences. It's supposed to be for teens and or tweens, specifically tweens to teens. And so you are able to touch on more adult subject matters, and I think that's something that held Applejack back and G4 was not being able to delve deeper into her backstory, why she is the way she is. You know, there was a lot of things like where she just gets rid of her hat one time, and the fandom had crafted all kinds of theories about that hat being from her father. You know, and they do later on go back, like way later in the series, they touch upon her family, but I felt like it was kind of superficial. I wasn't really with the fandom where I thought that episode was amazing. I felt like they could have done it even better. Tyrek, Cozy, Chrysalis are still in prison in stone. Maybe. I am of the mindset that I hope that they didn't just imprison a child in stone for all of time, you know, because Cozy was still a kid. Like, I don't know. But that's just me. Naked pouty. What are you guys talking about? I'm I'm clearly wearing clothes. Like, oh. Ah, god damn it. My my thing got messed up. I was trying to just zoom out here. Someone had asked for a full body shot anyways. So here you guys go. I'm floating in my room. There we go. Uh, let me see. Oh god, you guys typed a lot. That's what makes me so excited for the series and the specials. This movie is small scale story. It would have been hard to explain everything about the new Equestria. Yeah, no, definitely. And I think that's valid. Pretty sure Cozy was also a sociopath. Yes, she was, but she's still a child. You can't listen. You can't. Children have the reason why we go lenient on children is because they have time to grow and to learn, and they're not fully solidified. They can evolve to not be little shits. All right. They have a chance. We have to give them that chance. Someone actually saw a unicorn in the UK. I hate the little shit that. That being said, she is the most adorable character design in the show. Yeah. Leaving everything a little mysterious gives the series a lot of stuff to work on and explore for sure. Damn, David is just going hard. Oh, God, you are all... Chat is being horny for some reason right now about me. Not sure if this was asked, but would Sprout get a redemption arc? Maybe. Of any sort. I remember a fan coming, depicting a bittersweet moment of it. But I'm curious if it would be something that happened. Unfortunately, with Sprout, it doesn't seem like... We're also going to go ahead and switch here to a little bit of gameplay as well, as I can. It doesn't seem like Sprout... No, God, every time I do, the servers get DDoS. And so there's just no point. there is no gameplay to be had. I'm sorry. The servers are just getting DDoS to shit. It doesn't seem like Sprout is ever facing any real repercussions. We kind of see at the end, they're just kind of okay with it. Like, he's never punished at any point that we see. Like, even in the end of Equestria Girl's first movie, we see that Sunset is picking up the bricks and she has to start rebuilding the school. Obviously, she's not going to probably rebuild the whole school. They're probably just making her do it for that night and probably then switching her to community service or something. But you want me to show my OC again on full size? All right. All right, there you go. Soak it in. But yeah, so I don't think he needs a redemption arc. He might have a character building moment, but like I said, he kind of lost. I don't know what that would look like. Because his original thing was to please his mother, right? And maybe finding out that he doesn't need to please everyone, or that he can find satisfaction in just what he wants and not what his mother wants would be good. But that's only if they kept it being that he wanted to please his mom. Because, I went off into space. Because in the end, it stopped being about his mom. Like, he stopped like caring about that. There we go. Make myself a little bit bigger there. But yeah, so I don't think Sprout needs a redemption arc. And if they do give him one, they're going to have to finagle it. Like, Trixie and Starlight and Sunset are all, like, those are all good redemption arcs. G4, in its later years, its story got more muddled. And some of the stories got, I don't know, more rushed. But one of the things that happened for sure is they mastered the art of, like, meaningful redemption with their characters. They didn't just all become instantly good or bad, or learn to, like, completely remove their personalities. Like, Starlight and Trixie, they still get up to some devious licks, you know? In more than one way, I'm sure. she's not completely a goody two shoes. In fact, her personality influences Twilight in a positive way by getting her to stop stressing, stop focusing on doing everything by the book, even when it's hurting those around her or hurting herself. And that was good for her. I think that was good. Yeah, still 1 week of jail would be good for Sprout, probably. Hopefully not in Pegasus jail, because as we saw, Pegasus jail is really cushy. Yeah, Sprout's no longer sheriff. He may not also be deputy either. About the Sprout thing, just a thought. But yeah, good point. Thank you. If Pip and Hitch don't become a thing in G5, I'm going to 100% to 102% light myself on fire. And Minecraft. We have to add that. We're on Twitch too. I can see that. I can see maybe that. The main ship that I really focus on is Izzy and Sunny. I think that would be super adorable. I think their personalities were really cute together. And I thought it was pretty fun. Yeah. Hey man, paid off mortgages are something to be jelly of. If you ever get a mortgage, I'm sure you're gonna be a little jelly of someone who can pay off their mortgage by the time they're in like their early 20s, it seems. Yeah, Izzy is definitely adorable by herself. I love her. I absolutely adore Izzy. She has joined suit of the waifu harem. I think I'm gonna do that at one point. Just do a picture with like all my waifus: Sunset, Trixie, Adagio, Tempest, Starlight, Arya, you know, all of them, and obviously Izzy now, and just have them all around my little character here. Explain to me why Hitch is literally Fluttershy reincarnated. I love the concept. I don't know if he is. I don't know. There's like the only thing that Fluttershy and Hitch really have together is the animal thing, right? And I mean that is a big thing. That was a huge part of Fluttershy's personality, but I don't think it was the only thing. Like Hitch is obviously a lot more confident than Fluttershy. He's not shy, like obviously, and he seems to carry himself a lot more differently. I don't know. I just like there's some facets of Fluttershy that I understand, but I don't think I would ever call Hitch like a reincarnation of Fluttershy. Do you have any other OCs to show? Yes, I actually have quite a few. And again, we'll probably be doing an art pack here pretty soon. Of course, that's like the donation go. I don't know how big the art pack will be. I'm thinking it's going to be 50 or so images. It's going to be completely free. So anyone can get it. You know, we'll probably make a montage video of it on YouTube as well. It would be just really cute stuff of all the OCs and all kinds of fun stuff. But I have to still, you know, work out the logistics of that. Maybe Fluttershy and Applejack. That I could actually see. Hitch being like a mixture of Fluttershy and Applejack. That makes perfect sense. Someone wants to see, David wants to see some of the other OCs. Sure, let's pull up some of the other OCs that we have here. There we go. Oh, where's my mouse? All right, I get to self-indulge in the OCs. So here are two. Oh, hang on. All my screens got minimized because I was messing with them. Give me just a second here. Pull all of those back up. There we go. Oh, I'm kind of blocking Misty. This one is Misty over here on the right. This one is Jinx. They are Karen's. Here's a more saucy but still safe for work, I'd say. Here's Amelia. She is a fancy pants unicorn. And I did it again with the screens by shaking the window. And yeah, those are the main OCs that I have. And Karen OCs, woo, floofy horses, go. Yeah. How do they hold things though? They definitely were a lot more. God damn it. They definitely were a lot more liberal with how they held things in this movie. Like, it seemed like, because you don't have the excuse of it's magic, deal with it, because there is no magic. But I don't know. It's you know what? Fuck it. It's magic anyways. They may not have magic, but it's magic. Do you have NSFW ones? Listen, buddy. If you want NSFW stuff, you'll have to go to the Patreon. For just $1, I think it's like $1 a month, you too can receive saucy artwork of the OCs. Or something like that. Go check out the tiers. I don't remember off the top of my head. Love the OC designs. Thank you. Doing your mom. There is actually a mommy Cher design, not of like Cher being a mommy or something, but of this character's mother. It's literally just her, but like elongated horn and taller and stuff. Yeah. What were you talking about before we started talking about OCs? I'm so cute I deserve hat pants. You're goddamn right. But yeah. So overall, I think the movie was pretty fun. I thought there was a lot of things that were done decently well. Obviously, again, it's still a movie, and so because of that, there's gonna be a lot that's like left out because of time, and that's just kind of how it's gonna be. Give you tummy rubs. Chat is that's being horny again. So I'm asked where Cher got her name. Cher is Cher Noble. Cher Noble split into two words. It is literally that. Yes, it is it's that simple. Russian hat, Russo Franco. I made her when I. So here's a funny thing, right? I go all my life pretty solidified in my identity, like my cultural background and stuff. And I learned, like, we have some I think it was the internet repair person one day come to our house, and they were just making idle chit chat with us, and they asked about my last name and stuff, and they were like, "Oh, is that French?" And I just say no because like we've been all over the world and stuff. And I know like my brother is German. My sister's like British. They're I think nationals or something like that. They were born in those countries. And I think they have those citizenships or something like that. I can't remember the actual, I'm a bad sibling. I don't actually keep that much in touch with them. But, like I just say no, and my mom just walks in and just tells me like, "Oh no, yeah, we actually have a really deep-rooted French ancestry." And so I find out that hey, I actually have a really strong French background apparently. And so I took share like so Chernobyl is to go with the Russian side, and then Cher is also French. And so it's Chernobyl, but it's spelled Chernobyl, as in Noble being the last name, Cher being the first name, because Cher is French, and then altogether it's a Russian city. So I thought it was kind of cute, and so that's what I went with for this character's name. There you go. There's the there's the backstory. Yeah, Mr. Worldwide. Yeah, it's also a city, which is but it also had the power plant. But yeah, there you go. There's the ancient lore. There's the hot take. But yeah. Uh watch us shake our unicorn butts. What a line. Yeah, I thought it was cute. I thought all of Izzy's scenes were pretty cute. I thought her songs were pretty adorable. God damn it, I'm not watching your ad, Team Fortress 2. I liked it. The share lore leaked. Whoa. Yeah. There you go. There's the hitting share lore. I'm pretty sure you were just asking for NSFW artworks, my guy. But hey, whatever you say, I'm not judging. When you say it with the pause in between, sounds like the beginning of a letter. Chernobyl. Maybe. But yeah. What else? The music, honestly, I don't know about you guys. I could take or leave the music. It was okay. It wasn't like anything to write home about, which is surprising because MLP is typically pretty good with their music. Let me see if I can. I don't know if it's temporary. Alicorn Sunny might be permanent. Yeah, I didn't. Sprout's song is neat. Yeah, it's okay. See, like. It was like, the songs were really short. I didn't feel like I got to live in the moment with them. It felt like the Izzy one did feel like pretty complete, but I'd have to wait till I listened to the full soundtrack. But that wasn't a thing that I had to do for Rainbow Rocks, because this was still a musical, but it felt like the songs were just kind of there. It didn't feel like like with Rainbow Rocks, the songs were like tied into the story pretty heavily. But with this, it just kind of felt like, I don't know. The mob song was pretty good. I liked the guitar riffs on it. It was really fun. The guitar riffs, I felt like, I don't know if it was Nirvana that they were copying. I think it felt like it was Nirvana. It wasn't Teen Spirit though, was it? I don't think it was Teen Spirit. But like, I'd have to go back and listen to it. Obviously, I can't, unfortunately, because of copyright on stream. But like, it felt like it was copying something pretty strong um off of it. Can I pet you, Molly? You can all pet me. Rainbow Rocks is the peak of My Little Pony and EQG simultaneously. I don't think it's fair to compare the G5 movie to it. Oh, it was at G. I was wondering. I was like, wow, that is an actual really base take, commenter. But yes, that is true. Rainbow Rocks was the pinnacle. I felt it was definitely when what's his name, who was writing all the songs and stuff, was at his peak. I like, the songs were just so good. They were just so good. The Angry Mob tune used Offspring as I recognized it. Not sure which tune, however, but I recognize it due to it being a track on Guitar Hero Warriors of the Rock OST. Yeah, I don't know what it was that they were parroting per se. But yeah, that's also another point. A lot of these songs felt like parodies. Like, I saw a lot of people complaining that like they just straight up stole Rarity's song at one point. I forget which song it was they said that they stole, but it felt like music wise, G5 hasn't really blossomed. We're still waiting on them to kind of hit us with that thing, that song, that flavor that just goes like, okay, this is a G5 song. Wow, guys, we've almost gone full 2 hours here without me even breaking out the gameplay, not through a lack of trying. I found the pony's teeth kind of jarring at times. I'm not really sure what it does. Yeah, no, I totally, okay, so let me pull up the thing here. So at times some of the design gets a little bit weird. Like how humanized the teeth are a little bit weird. And then where's the scene? It's really highlighted in the Pegasus scene while they're in the alleyway. Here we go. Nope, that's not the alleyway. Here we go. Here's the alleyway. All right. The eyes are super distracting to me. Like the constant reflection of everything. I don't want to look at the leaks. I don't know if I want to look at any of the leaks. I don't want to turn into Dr. Wolf where he covers like every time a person sneezes who works on the show. But like sometimes these eye shines are just completely random. Like there's 2 eye shines and I think the second one is supposed to be like the moon or something. But even when they're not like directly facing anything, like they still have these giant shines in their eyes, and it's just like so distracting. And you can see like This is clearly like a window. Like when you're 3D modeling, you can use like a map that for reflections, and it's like there's a default one in Blender, which I don't think they use Blender. Obviously, they used I forget what they use. I remember what they rendered it in, but I can't remember what they used the model. But there's this default light map, or not light map, but reflection map, uh, and it's like just like this hallway of a garage parking lot, and it feels like they just have this static on the eyes at all times. Sometimes it's just like, but it's like because their eyes are so big, it's just like it's constantly there, and it was constantly distracting to me because it just feels. I don't know. It was just super distracting. I know I say this as someone with giant eye sparkles myself, but you know, I'm 2D. I can get away with it. They're 3D. They can't. Oop, went to the intro. Cause look, even in this scene, I like look at where the giant light source is. I don't think that's supposed to be. If that's supposed to be the sun, then why is it like constantly there? I don't know. It just feels weird. It feels distracting and it feels weird. That's just like one of my pet peeves though. And I might just be weird because of it. So like feel free to. Oh yeah, and then there's bit of Izzy's song and stuff. I'm not crazy about glasses. I might lose a few people there. I don't like glasses. They've never been my thing. Like she's adorable, but I'd still prefer without the glasses. But yeah, I think that's I think that's like a good summation of like a lot of the things that I think. I think that summarizes quite a bit of it. What I love, what I hate, what just kind of irritates me a bit. But other songs not made into the fun. See, I don't know if I count it then. Like when, so like there are some songs that barely were in Rainbow Rocks, like Tricks Up My Sleeve. And I'm like, well, does that really count? Well, yeah, because it was in the movie and it was in the movie multiple times. But when you have songs that like aren't in the movie at all, do they really count as the G5 songs then? If like they just never actually even made it into the movie. What's up, Muhammad Fahik Abduriohem? I butchered I butchered your name, I'm sure. You did come a little bit late here. We're already in the 2 hour mark here, but I will be editing this all down, including your comments. And I'll be making a video about it. Because like I said, I have that adorable thumbnail and I want to use it. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm terrible with names. Like, I'm absolutely terrible with names. Yeah, I just, because originally, like I said, we had an entire reaction video of the original stream, and we had all that stuff, and it was really fun, but they blocked it worldwide. I have tried everything. I tried mirroring it. I tried like destroying it with color correction. I've tried flipping it and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. But I either have to make it like completely unwatchable, or I just have to make it a Patreon exclusive, because like I can't make it. If it was just them claiming the monetization, that'd be fine, because we don't even monetize this channel anymore, because we can't. But we probably will in the future. I don't want to make it seem like I'm being like altruistic or something. But like it's blocked worldwide, so like no one can see it. Negative 10 out of 10. I don't know if I'd be that harsh. I don't know if anything with Izzy in it could be a negative 10 out of 10. I gave it a 6 out of 10. I felt like it was pretty good. And again, if you guys want to go see the original like full live stream like reaction thing, it is on the Patreon page. Go see it. If you figure out my Vimeo name, which is totally not just the Mo Luminous, you can also just go watch it there too. Actually, I don't know if it is or not. I was making a joke about how easy it might be to just get it for free, but I can't recall. Vimeo was a pain to upload to. I didn't realize how much money they wanted for you to just upload there. Unrelated, but Zephyr Heights reminds me of Night City out of Cyberpunk. I haven't played it. I've been meaning to. I've been seeing like clips and stuff of it, and I hear it's a lot better now. So I might give it a whirl eventually. Yeah, like so our Everything's Wrong With on the main channel actually got taken down for a little bit. It got blocked worldwide. We went ahead and we countered the block, and luckily within like a couple of hours they released their block on it, and it went back up. But like I was pretty sure we were gonna have to wait like 30 days for it to go back up. Zephyr Heights is the most bizarre place to witness. Just staring at remnants of Canterlot structure, but gilded in gold. Yeah, corpse gilded in gold. That's an apt comparison. That's actually pretty. Yeah. Yeah. Despite this Russian hat unicorn creativity, I can't actually read Cyrillic. I can't read Russian. So might need to put that comment in English. Ponies with ponies. I love that idea and the fact that it is implemented. I don't fully know what you mean when you say ponies with ponies. Have you seen the public concept art for GV5? Yes, I've seen some of the concept art. Like I saw the original concept art. And then there's obviously the concept art that Emalu this is a Dr. Wolf video. Can I just get the tweets? Where's Emalu's Twitter? Shoot, I can't see it. I can't find them. Phones, Molly, phones. I'm just gonna say I prefer these. I prefer the finalized designs. Like some of these old designs. Oh, hey, that's my video. Oh, hey, that's my video being pirated on a third-party site. That's great. Well, I'm searching for like the G5 concept art. Let me go to Twitter here. I definitely can't show just Twitter normally on screen, so I have to wait till I find it. Okay, let me I'll put that in one panel here. Okay, well, this is all I can find, but I know you guys all know what I'm talking about, or what they're talking about with the concept art. You want to hang out with me? I'll be hanging out in the Discord server, moliminous.gg slash, or discord.gg slash moliminous. You can talk to me there. You can at me and stuff. And, yeah. But yeah, also touching on the phones, I saw a lot of people get mad about the phones. Phones weren't a big deal to me. Phones were okay. I didn't mind them. I think it makes sense. We're in a world and day and age where, like, yeah, phones are used quite a bit. So it makes sense. You got this. We got this together. Yeah. It's a good song. I like some of the stuff was okay. What else does chat have for me? What other questions, comments, concerns does chat have? Coming up on our 2-hour mark. Which is typically where we end stream for the most part. But I want to make sure I get everyone's question or concern in before I do so. If you just have a general question too, like more Molly lore about Cher's background. Like I think I pretty much like answered everything and give my thoughts on just about everything I could. I know it's random, but have you ever read the MLP comics Friendship in Disguise? I don't think I've read Friendship in Disguise in particular, but I have read parts of the comics. And I enjoyed parts of the comics, but I never really found them to be a good substitute for the show, so I never really got into them. Even though the comics do go into like more topics that I would find interesting, I never found them to be like theory fodder or to be replacements for the show or to really capture my interest. Something. Why are the guards in Zephyr Heights not geared in proper attire? Only a helmet and a neck guard and not a full plate like G4's Royal Guard. Well, I think it's probably just because of a lack of combat experience. Remember, none of the races were all so afraid of each other that they never actually fought. And so they didn't know how to actually handle or deal with each other. Well, I don't know what your Twitter is, my guy, but my Twitter is just at Moliminous. You can all follow me. You can all DM me. My DM should be open. If you ever have a question or you want to show me something cool or you want to link me something, you guys can do it. I'm pretty easy to get in contact with these days. You can find me in the Discord channel. You can just at me there. Like, yeah, it's all really easy to get in contact with me. Yeah, you would think they would go overboard, but again, ponies can be dumb sometimes. I don't know, man. How did you end up here? You tell me. I mean, I don't know why you clicked the video. All right, boys and girls. Anything else here? Never had my question read on stream before. Thank you. Oh, not a problem. I try to read everyone's questions. Uh, you know, I try to get to everyone. I know I missed like probably a bunch in the beginning as well. But you know, if you leave them in the VOD, I'll probably comment on them. Want to drop more of Cher's lore? There's not really too much to like dispense of. Cher's lore is just like a lot of the times it's my lore fantastical, like fantasticide. Like I said, like me discovering my French ancestry, and so combining the French and Russian stuff, getting her name, which is why I also have my hat here. Because I love my little hat. All right, man. You take care. But yeah, I think I've at least covered, I think, everything that I want to cover. So, I feel pretty content. I'm pretty happy. I'm looking forward to G5. I'm looking forward to what's going to come next here. I don't know how much content I'm going to do on G5. I'll be honest. Like, I'm tempted to just like milk G5 for content, right? On the main channel. And to get people over to the streams and to do that so I can get them in the stream and then tell them about our Lord and Savior Izzy Moonbow. But like, I don't know if I really want to do that. I'm done with the Everything's Wrong with series, I believe. I don't think I'm going to make another one of those. So I'll just have to see. We'll probably do, what I probably will do is, if it is episodic, we're definitely going to stream all the episodes on Twitch. We're definitely going to have those watch parties because those are fun. And then I might do like the reaction videos if I can. Because remember, Twitch or YouTube is a pain with uploading content. Hey, happy to help, Dragon Slayer. The Sprout gonna be the friend group? Probably not. I think we'll see Sprout as like a Diamond Tiara type character. Like maybe he'll be an antagonist every now and again, but never like a strong antagonist. Always just like someone who's like mildly inconveniencing them. Lore wise, aside from probably being Sweet Bean, I don't know. That in a horror as well. Dude, I fucking love Yu-Gi-Oh! I've been playing Duel Links so much. But yeah, take care. As a man, I will shamelessly admit that I have watched My Little Pony as a child out of curiosity, but I don't remember much more from the TV show, apart from Rainbow Dash for some reason. Well, it sounds like you have a waifu, and it's the starter pone. Rainbow Dash was always someone's starter pony a lot of the times because she was someone who was safe. She wasn't typically girly. She was a tomboy. And so she oftentimes was someone that people gravitated to because, you know, you don't want to like a girly character because you're a guy. Guys don't like girly characters. All right. And so She was like a safe character. And so a lot of people gravitated to her. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, man. I'm not gonna remember your Twitter, unfortunately. You just gotta, if you DM me on Twitter at Moliminous, I'll probably just go ahead and respond to you. But yeah. Ironically, Applejack was my starting pwn. Reminded me of home back then. Oh, well, that's kind of sweet. All right, chat. I think I've gotten through everyone's like questions, and I think I've said my piece on the series. So, as always, you know, I've been Cher, Moliminous, whichever you want to call me, Cher, Faith, whatever. I love your faces, so I hope you like my videos and drop a like if you haven't already. By the way, on the stream, I see we're at 60, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, if you haven't liked the video, I would appreciate it if you did so. If you haven't subbed, which I think everyone here is probably subbed. But if you're not, go ahead and drop a sub and follow on Twitch. You can also get into the Discord. You can support me on Patreon for the support the stuff that I do, mainly for the artwork and stuff, because we offer really cool and I think pretty cute artwork. And I will see you guys later. I might actually do a stream later tonight, but it's just going to be gameplay if I do, but I'll have to see how I feel about it. We might also have a Sunday stream as well. So yeah. See you guys next time. Outro.